What's up, investors and people of Reddit, it's the Russian Dude and welcome to my charitable live stream which we are going to do this Saturday, April 30th. We're gonna be donating money finally to Ukraine. So like I was mentioning in all my previous videos that I've been doing during every single day, basically every single weekday, I will have my Patreon memberships and I will be using all of them, donating all of them to Ukraine at the end of each month. So this will be basically charitable live stream. If you wish to donate with us, I have at least like 4 people who are donating already. We are collecting approximately $120. So this is what we're going to do at the end of this live stream. But if you want to join us, feel free to join us. The link is in the description for my Patreon. This is where you can basically do the donations however much you want. There is like $4 tier, $8 tier, 100, whatever amount you want. You'll join us in donating, helping Ukrainians, helping resisting them in this conflict or this so-called special military operation. And hopefully eventually sooner or later everything will be good for them. In the meantime, so this is my very first live stream, obviously, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna be doing here, but I was thinking that maybe first of all, I'll quickly summarize the month, like what major events that happened this month. This will be the first section of the live stream. The second section of the live stream will be me answering all of your questions, and it doesn't necessarily mean that I'll be answering them at the very end. If you want, you can ask any questions right now, and I'll be obviously answering them. And the last thing, I will be donating money, obviously live. So I have my PayPal set up, I have selected the charity, so this will be the Red Cross Canada donating to Ukraine, obviously. And this is what we're gonna do in the end, then we're gonna say bye to each other, wish good weekends and all this kind of stuff. Say bye and then see you on Monday, basically. Okay, so in the meantime, once again, just feel free to ask me any questions. I forgot to do one thing, let me promote my live stream on Reddit. Because people of Reddit, they love me. I love you, people of Reddit, if you're watching, some of you from Reddit. So let me just share my link with people of Reddit really quick. Okay, just give me a second. It's just the very first time, so forgive me for my technical difficulties, but that's how it is. In the meantime, let me know in the comments if you have any questions for me. Yes, I am Russian. I am, let's say, so not on the side of Russia in this conflict. So if you have any questions you wanted ever to ask Russians, now's the perfect time. Like, why did you invade Ukraine? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Now's the perfect time for you to ask all these kind of questions. And also in the meantime, also, by the way, let me know how's your weekend going, how's your Saturday going, and we're gonna go from there. So I'll be promoting in the meantime really quick. And after this, we're gonna go full scale mode and all this kind of stuff. Okay, just let me know in the comments once again how y'all doing, how's everything, how's your weekends going. Okay, technical difficulties. Okay. This and that. So anyone, say hi to me. Say hi to me in the comments or anything like this. I'm right here, live and alive, hopefully for as long as possible. Okay, so I did some promotions on Reddit. Hopefully we're gonna get some people watching us and all this kind of stuff. Okay, so first of all, like I mentioned, let's go over really quick the main events that happened this week. I'm gonna be sharing my iPad screen right now, and we'll just go basically over my most recent videos that I've been making this month, and I'll just basically recall what was happening. So, okay, connecting, sharing my live, all this kind of stuff, then doing iPad screen sharing, and I have no idea, is it working? Okay, perfect. Okay, so you must see my iPad right now, must be all good. Okay, so here we have it, my channel, my videos. So to begin with, the very beginning, February 24th 2022. This is the time when basically Russia invaded Ukraine and when this whole war started. Some of you might be, okay, so Steve, finally, Steve Deacon says, hope you're well. Thanks so much for caring about me, for thinking about Steve. So yeah, so far I'm good. Hopefully it stays the same for as long as possible. Thanks so much for joining, Steve. Hang on with us. Okay, so February 24th, 2022. This is when the whole invasion basically started. So for those of you who might not know, back in 2014 I did a small video about this, which is titled, it is right here, why Russia invaded Ukraine. So long story short, in 2014, back in 2014, Ukrainians wanted, even before this, Ukrainians wanted to join the European Union. And at that time, the president, Viktor Yanukovych, was already basically on the plane to sign the agreement to make Ukraine part of the European Union, when eventually he got a phone call from Putin himself or from somebody close to Putin, and he said, Viktor, turn around your plane, Ukraine is not going to join the European Union. And this is basically how Euromaidan started, if you heard about these basically protests. Okay, Mike Kennedy says, great channel, thanks for the daily news update. Thank you so much, Mike, for coming for my daily news updates. Thank you so much for watching them. I appreciate every single person appreciating my work, so it's a pleasure making these updates for you all guys. So thank you so much, not me, thank you. So 2014, Euromaidan. Ukrainians were first protesting because they were saying, and I guess at this point let me put myself on the screen because I'm not showing too many things on my iPad right now, so let it be like this. So at this very moment, Ukrainians were protesting, so-called Euromaidan, in 2014. And the reason for this protest, it is because they wanted to be a part of the European Union, which once again, Viktor Yanukovych was pro-Russian president. He, at the very last minute, he cancelled the deal. At first, these protests were relatively peaceful, let's call them like this, and even the Russian media, like TV channels, news channels, they were showing like, okay, Ukrainians, they're protesting, they didn't join the European Union, poor Ukrainians. But eventually, whenever protests started to be more hostile, let's call them like this is when Russian media switched their narrative drastically. Now they are showing like, oh, these Ukrainian Nazis, they want to kill all the Russians on the territory of Ukraine. So it went from Ukrainians wanted to be part of the European Union in the eyes of Russian media. All the way from this, it went to Ukrainian Nazis want to basically kill Russian Ukrainians who live on the territory of Ukraine, which is basically ridiculous, to say the least. So these protesters, they became more hostile, people were using even weapons, people were burning tires, the center of Kiev was in flames, and this was happening in the winter of 2013-14. So eventually the result of all these protests is that unfortunately Ukraine was not still able to join the European Union, but at least they were able to replace the president at that time, Viktor Yanukovych. So, which is already at least a good sign, because at least something came out of this protest. So they were able to achieve at least something. Okay, and in the meantime, Russia, because there was pretty much chaos in Ukraine at that time, Russia was like, okay, while there's chaos, let's take away Crimea from them. And so they had their own infiltrators on this peninsula, they were destabilizing the situation from the inside, and eventually in March 2014 there was this alleged referendum, which basically means that the people, the residents of the peninsula, residents of Crimea, they are voting whether they want to be a part of Russia or not. So technically this was not something that politicians decided, technically, but at the same time, I guess because of the infiltrators and everything, I think this was already pre-decided before even the referendum took place. But to be honest, I really have an uncle who is in Ukraine. My whole second half of my family, they're Ukrainians. So I'm half Russian, half Ukrainian, and half another country where I'm living right now, which for security purposes, I think I will not mention it, but some of you might know where I'm right now, so don't tell anyone, by the way. Okay, so just really quick from the chat. Figan Shao 87 just wanted to say thank you for this very informative channel. Watch every upload. Thank you so much for watching every single upload. You are the ones who make me produce these videos every single day. People like these, people who appreciate my work. And his question is, are you hopeful for the future in Russia? Of course, Russia is my territory. Russia is my homeland. Being Russian, loving Russia does not necessarily mean that I love our government. In fact, so many people, not just from Russia, but around the world, Americans, Canadians, many people, they're dissatisfied with their governments. So, but let's say, so there are many American patriots who do not like Joe Biden at this very moment, but they're American patriots, they love America. So that's what I'm saying. Being patriot or loving your country does not mean that if you love Russia, you love Putin. That's how I am, that's how my family is. We love our country, we love Russia, but that's unfortunate. That's so unfortunate that our president is just like this, our higher officials are like this. So some Russians, they basically join these officials, they join this politician's side. So right now they're like, yes, Putin is the one who is killing all the Nazis in Ukraine. Unfortunately, that's the majority of Russians at this very moment who are inside Russia. So the rest of Russians are basically something closer to us. We are unsatisfied, and we basically either do something about this or we do nothing about this. So some Russians who do not like current government, unfortunately, they don't do anything. So like, okay, well, what can I do? But some people, like I can myself included, I would say at this point, is that at least somehow we're using our social media influence or whatever you want to call it. My channel is not a multi-million channel, but I have you guys. I have 500-700 people watching every single time I update. This is incredible. Before I started making these updates, my videos were getting like 5-10 views and now it's like 700 views. So imagine how cool. This is when I feel that I have a voice on social media, and this makes me so happy on the inside. So once again, thanks so much for watching. But anyways, so some people like us, we are unsatisfied, but we try to kind of speak up. We try to deliver the news to other people. We try to speak about this to our friends, because previously, let's say, so I'm playing hockey here in this country where I'm right now, and my hockey team, they support me because, well, I was playing with them for a long time, so they know I'm hopefully a good guy. So whenever this whole thing started into February 2022, 24 February, they were not like, okay, you're not gonna play with us anymore, you're Russian, we don't like you, we hate you. No, they were basically supporting me, they were asking me, they're wondering me, hey, how are you doing, how's your parents, how's your uncle, how's your aunt? So they were wondering about me. And at the same time, once again, some people, they might have this prejudice, they might have these stereotypes about, okay, if you're from Russia, it means that you always unconditionally support Putin. No, it is just simply not like this. And so this is the purpose here, to change at least the mindset of at least a couple of people on the internet who think that every single Russian means they support Putin. No, we don't. So let me answer a really quick question from Adam Tracking Vlogs. So Adam Tracking Vlog says, thanks for all the updates, always looking up to your videos. Thank you so much, Adam. I'm always from now on looking for your comments. So make sure to say hi under every single video and I'll reply to you as well. So thanks so much for watching them. And Adam says that what's gonna happen to this channel after special operation, LOL. This is a very good question. So my channel in the very beginning, so this live stream is me also connecting to you and saying thank you so much for watching me, and at the end we're gonna use all this money that we collected through Patreon to donate to Ukraine. So originally this was channel, I had this from 2009. I started this YouTube channel when YouTube was like, I don't know, 5 years old or something like this, when YouTube had all this so bad design and the videos were like in the square shape 4:3 format and the highest quality was like 480 resolution, 480p. So this is when I started, and I started making videos how to solve Rubik's Cube in Russian. I was back in Russia at that time. I made these videos for my friend. She was like, can you teach me how to solve Rubik's Cube? And I was like, okay, I'll just make videos for you. And I just uploaded them on YouTube just so I can share these videos with her. So because at this moment, YouTube was pretty young, and especially YouTube in Russia was basically just being discovered. Believe it or not, this was the second video on Russian part of YouTube about how to solve Rubik's Cube in Russian. Because of this, I got very big traction. So many people were watching. So my videos, I got like 5 parts. And these parts were getting like 500,000 views each, believe it or not. So this was incredible. And this is where I got the majority of the subscribers. I don't like to call it subscribers. Let's be friends from now on, okay? So at that moment, this is when I got the majority of my friends on YouTube, like 3,500, I think. So whatever the number you see right now, I have like 6,000 friends right now, minus 3,500 because this is back from the Rubik's Cube videos. So originally right now, since I started my seriously started my YouTube channel, I only got like 2,000 friends, 2,500, which is extremely a lot. So after these Rubik's Cube videos, I stopped doing YouTube like for 5-10 years or something, and I started doing again back in 2020 in August. I started doing personal finance videos, how to invest, the stock market, credit cards, all this kind of stuff, how to do your taxes. So this is what I wanted to do, personal finance type of videos and investing, stock picking, if you want to call it like this. And I have like 500 plus videos about this one. But then February 24th, 2022, the war started. And because once again, one side of my family is from Ukraine, another side is from Russia. So I'm twice as involved in this war. I have relatives on both sides of the conflict, but they're not in conflict. We love each other. I call my Ukrainian uncle, I call my Russian parents. So my Ukrainian side does not hate my Russian side, and we love each other. We are friends, we support each other. And so obviously I needed to speak about this. I could not just continue doing personal finance video because this was directly affecting me. So I started making this informative daily news summaries type of videos, whichever you're seeing right now, 5 days per week. And that's what I'm planning to do in the nearest future for as long as it is needed. So I'm planning to do this all the way until the war is over, because as soon as war is over, like basically that's it, like Ukraine wins hopefully, and basically that's it. After this, I was planning to just continue doing news updates, but because I will most likely not be focusing on the war anymore, and since I was doing personal finance videos, maybe most likely I'm thinking that this channel will eventually transition into like finance, economics, personal finance, stock market, investing type of videos. Maybe some of you know this guy Meet Kevin or like Clear Value Tax. So they're just also doing these news reports every single day, but not about the war, but about economics, finance and investing and all this kind of stuff. So this is my idea, what I'm planning to do in the future. Hopefully I will stick to this. Okay, so 38 people watching. How cool is that? I never ever had this many people watching me at the same time. So welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Feel free to ask me any questions. Just a quick summary what we are doing here. I will be talking about myself, getting closer to you, connecting with you guys, connecting with you friends, answering your questions. I am Russian. I have Russian family. I have Ukrainian family. And then in the end, we will be donating every single membership, my Patreon membership that I have, we will be donating this all together, you and me, to Ukraine. And by the way, if you want to also participate, if you also want to take part in this donation, there's a link in the description to my Patreon. So feel free to join the Patreon. And by the way, let me show you, because I did some benefits recently. So I will be sharing my iPad right now to show you really quick. So once again, there is like no push, no... I'm not forcing you to join my Patreon. I'm just saying, if you want to help Ukraine with us, just feel free to join this. It's not like you will get nothing out of this. There are some benefits which I'm going to show you in a minute. Okay, so this is my Patreon right now. So there are 3 tiers at this very moment: $4 donation, $8 donation, and $100 donation. So focus on the first two, either 4 or 8. Those people who will be joining my $4 donation, they will be able to participate in daily Q&A sessions after every single video. What does this mean? So after I upload the video, like for example last Friday, the one which is like Russia is targeting Moldova to be its next target for liberation. After I publish this video, if you have any questions, you just go on my Patreon, open this post, for example, whatever you do it, I don't know, like this, I guess. You open this post, doesn't want to scroll. Okay, I don't know. Okay, now scrolling. And then in the comments, you just type something, like in the comments or whatever there is. So basically, if you have any questions about the video of the day, you just go here, type the question, and I'll personally reply to you, just like me, like in the text. For those people who join my $8 donation, and once again, all this money, every single dollar will go to Ukraine at the end of each month, because by the way, YouTube doesn't want to monetize me, because I guess it says that, well, you're speaking about the war, you're abusing the war, so we cannot monetize you. So this very moment, I do not receive any single dollar from YouTube. I cannot get monetized. So the only way for me and for you to help Ukraine together, this is the only way, is through my Patreon, because I don't have anything else. So at this very moment, it's only my Patreon. So the next one is the $8, and this includes weekly Patreon exclusive live streams. So this will be summary of the week. And obviously $8 tier also includes daily Q&A session. So what does this weekly Patreon exclusive live stream means? At the end of the week, I think like Saturdays or Sundays, wherever, I will be basically summarizing the whole week. You know, I'm already doing daily updates, but once per week, just Patreon exclusive, just for my Patreon members, I'll be doing the whole week summary. So basically, if you missed a couple of my videos during the day, but you still want to keep yourself updated, you just participate in this weekly. It is going to be live stream as well. So if you have any questions, you will be able to ask me any questions. And basically, I'll be just summarizing the week and answering your questions. And the last tier, which is $100 per month, it's only limited to 23 people, one place is taken. So by the way, so thank you so much for, let me see her name because I forgot her name. I'm so sorry about this. So I'm personally shout-outing what's the name? For Jen Hayes. Jen Hayes, if you're watching, thank you so much. Oh, and we have 2 new patrons already. Wow. So welcome Steven Deacon and welcome Itsavat. Your money will also go towards donating Ukraine today, so thanks so much for joining my Patreon. Thanks so much. So Jen Hayes is the one who donated $100. Can you imagine this? How cool is this? Okay, so and this one my Patreon. So $100 tier will be the ones I will be doing. I don't know yet. Maybe once every week or once every month. I will be doing group Zoom calls where it's just for these 23 people where you can ask me literally everything. We'll be just hanging out, talking, just getting closer, just will be like a group of friends. And obviously you have all the access to all the previous all the previous benefits. Okay, so let me see, so many, 50 people watching, what is this? Where are you coming from? But I'm so happy, 50 people. So just to give you an idea why I'm so happy, the maximum number of people ever seen my live streams in the past was like 3 people. From these 3 people, one was my father and mother. They were using basically the same computer. One was me, myself, and one was my wife. So 3 people. Basically, no one was watching me. Now it's 51 people. So thank you so much for joining. So yeah, this is my Patreon. Thank you all so much for joining. I see new donations, so obviously we will add them to our today's house call. We will add them to today's donation. So don't worry, this money will not go to my pocket. Okay, let's put myself again on the screen. Okay, so where we stopped. So Russia took Crimea in 2014, and I guess let me go through the comments really quick because I have so many comments. Wow, so many comments. Okay, let's see the most recent ones. Fabri Noturno says, one question: what would be the reaction of Russian government or people if and when Finland and Sweden joins NATO? Above all, how Putin's propaganda will explain that if one of his first goals was actually preventing a further expansion of NATO? Perfect question, Fabri. Thanks so much for this question. By the way, guys, let me know in the comments if you have any questions, because that's the purpose of the live stream, of me answering your questions, and then all of us will be donating money to Ukraine. So the reaction of Putin will be obviously unacceptable, because yes, the main goal, allegedly, the main goal of this special military operation was to prevent the spread of NATO closer to the borders of Russia. So as you can see, this did not happen with Ukraine. So Ukraine already saying that, okay, we're not going to join NATO. President Zelensky himself saying that, okay, we see that NATO doesn't want us, so Ukraine will not be a part of NATO. At least we will join the European Union, which is, I would say, even better than joining the NATO. So, but yes, since the main goal was to prevent the expansion of NATO, and the result of this special military operation is NATO getting bigger, I guess this is a complete and total failure of this special military operation, because besides achieving its goals, it made it even worse than before this special military operation. So obviously, if Finland and Sweden joins the NATO, Russia will be unhappy. I mean, the politicians, officials, especially Putin himself. I don't think regular people, Russians, will care about this, because we didn't care it in the first place. It was just our leadership which was caring so much about the expansion of NATO. Hopefully this will not bring any further, hopefully it will not bring any further, boy, this word, so hard to speak in English sometimes. I guess if your the second language is English, I guess you can understand me. So there will be no future aggression. Let's call it like this, okay? So I hope my best there's not gonna be future provocations, aggressions, or anything like this. Okay, best case scenario, they join the NATO, we leave it as is, everything is good and back to normal. This is my best, most optimistic case scenario. Hopefully it's gonna be like this. But once again, regular people, we basically do not care if anyone joins NATO or not. Okay, so Justin Dai, what is your opinion? Would Putin actually use nukes, or is it all saber rattling? So basically, I don't think Putin will use nukes, because he understands that as soon as he presses the button, that's basically game over for him, for Russia, for basically almost everyone. So yes, they're threatening the nukes, but that's why nuclear weapons are called preventative weapons. So the main purpose of nuclear weapons is basically not to use them, but to say that in case you do something bad, we will use them. So it's like, obviously, if Russia uses nukes, then America will have to respond by using nukes. So the first country that uses nukes, it means that most likely other countries will use nukes as well. And this is gonna mean that end of major cities, major countries, is gonna be the beginning of the end of the Third World War. And so he's not as crazy, I hope, at least. Even though he is in bunker for the last 5 years, it feels like not talking to anyone. So, but I hope it's not as bad as some people say. So most likely, once again, nukes are not gonna be used. This is just the threats, this is just the prevention, this is just like, watch careful what you're saying, basically. So, but I don't think they're gonna be used. Okay, and It's Savat, thanks so much once again, It's Savat, for joining my Patreon. He said that found your videos from Reddit. Thanks so much for finding them, thanks so much for coming to YouTube, thanks so much for watching them, my live stream, my daily videos. I love you all, guys, so thanks so much. So Chad Freeze says, I think he will use tactical nuke in Kiev if he does not take the east. So this was probably, yes, one of his ideas in the very beginning, maybe, before he thought that it will be as serious as it is right now, that maybe in the worst case scenario, if we cannot win anything, if we cannot conquer anything, he will actually be as crazy enough to actually use them. But once again, at this very moment, he already sees that he's struggling at every single front. And it's like, he sees this, but still all the officials, all the admirals, generals, they bring them the good news. Because imagine you're an officer, imagine you're a general, admiral, whoever. You come to Putin and you say, Vladimir, I have bad news for you. So after this, the only way for you to exit the room is through the jail or something, is through gulag or anything. Putin simply doesn't like bad news. So the only reason why maybe he's still thinking that he is kind of winning the war, it is because all the reports he's getting from the Minister of Defense, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sergei Shoigu, Sergei Lavrov, all the officers, admirals, because they prefer to lie. Just like in the USSR. Lie. What's the cost of lies? So eventually you lie right now, but you evade, you do not face the rage of Putin at this very moment, but in the future, like, okay, that's the problem of the future, but as for now, at least I'm safe. So hopefully, I mean not hopefully, but I think that's the way he's thinking right now, why he's still winning the war. But as you can see, it's far from Russia winning in this war. And by the way, I would like to make a video in the nearest future, couple of weeks from now, me just talking to the camera and explaining why, in my personal opinion, I think that why Russia is struggling so much. But just for you, because you joined my live stream, so, and I want to give you something special. Just right now, I will tell you briefly why I think Russians are struggling so much. So, the morale of Russian army, of Russian force, of Russian soldiers, I think it's not a secret anymore, is very low. You see all these videos, pictures, like Russians are calling their parents, their partners, and they're saying like, we cannot advance, the Ukrainians are so strong, the defense is so good, because the morale, simply morale is good. My Ukrainian uncle, who will be, I think, mythical figure at some point in my YouTube channel, because I'm always referring to my Ukrainian uncle, he exists, trust me, he exists. He's saying that every single male friend that he has, and even some females, whenever this whole thing started, they wanted to join the army to protect their families, friends, and their land. because it was the invasion to their country. Imagine whichever country you are at right now, and imagine invaders come and they say, okay, we're gonna bomb your city. Imagine your city right now. Whether you're in the city where you are born, you are right now, or maybe this was city where you're born like in the past. Imagine the city that you love the most, the one that you grew up. Imagine your neighborhood, the one where you're playing with your friends since you're like a kid. And imagine some random country comes into your country and destroys this neighborhood, destroys your house where you grew up, destroys your school where you are going for 11 years. So of course you're gonna be furious, of course you want revenge, of course you wanna kill them, I don't know, let's say so, let's basically say so. Because of this, once again, the mobilization rate, the morale of Ukrainian forces since the beginning was on extremely high levels. My uncle is already old, he is 56 if I'm not mistaken, so he was in the military register office, but he was not taken to the army because there were so many volunteers. So whenever there's so many volunteers, of course the military register officers, they prefer to take younger guys first of all. First they take like 18, 20, 25 years old, and as soon as all volunteers on this age group are over, this is when they start taking some older, like some between 30 and 40. As soon as these guys are over, this is when they switch to even older guys. So eventually my uncle, even though he was already, his documents were already in the military enlistment office, he was never summoned to the army because they said, okay, we have enough soldiers at this very moment, so we'll keep your documents, but okay, go home right now and just wait, like we don't need you at this very moment. So this is Ukrainian side. And on the other side we have Russians who are basically forced to go to this war. They don't even want to be in this war. So this is how it happened. So the official invasion happened on February 24th, right? Some guys who are just soldiers, 18-year-old Russian guys, they were sleeping, they went to bed at February 23rd, and they were thinking that they're gonna wake up next day and they will go to their soldier routine. They'll go marching, they'll go have breakfast, they'll have do all this training, they will shoot and all this kind of stuff. So they thought the next day is gonna be just a regular day for them. But at night, I don't know, at 2, 3, 4 a.m., whatever, the officers were like, wake up, wake up, wake up, get your things, get dressed, go, 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 go. Some people were like, okay, what's happening, what's happening? But because you just woke up, you're just following the orders, like, you go here, like, yeah, okay, okay, and you just have your clothes. I said, no, some guys didn't even take their phones. They just dressed, and they went wherever the officers was telling them to go. They just packed them inside the trucks, and they brought them to Ukraine, as simple as that. Some people, once again, like I told you, they didn't even take the phones, so they couldn't even inform their relatives that they are in Ukraine, because they just left all their personal belongings and they were just sent to Ukraine, just like this. So imagine you open the truck and you're in Ukraine, and the officer is giving you the AK or rifle, pistol, whatever, rocket launcher, and he's like, okay, you go here, take the position, if you see someone, shoot them. And you're like, okay, I guess, like, what's happening? And this is how it was. That's why it was. And the reason why Russia was able to advance a little bit in the beginning, it is because this was an element of surprise, because no one expected this. You remember, there was a training next to Ukrainian borders in the middle of February, but then Russians started to kind of like go back to Russia. And then eventually they turned around as quickly as one night, and they just invaded Ukraine. So because of this, they were able to advance in the first days of war, but eventually they were like, okay, so then what? Now what? Now what? And that's how it is. And the reason why they cannot advance is because morale is so important. Ukrainians are defending themselves, defending their friends, defending their relatives, defending their land. In the meantime, Russians are just basically being told to shoot this guy, destroy this house, destroy this building, capture this tank, whatever. And that's the result. That's basically the result. Okay, so I would assume there's many new questions, and let's go over some questions, some of the most recent ones. I'm so sorry, I never had 65 people watching me ever, so I'm so sorry if I miss your question. Type it again. I will be right now reading the most recent ones, but if you really want your question answered, type it in the chat right now, and eventually I will see it. I promise you I will see it, because right now, like, if I just spend answering every single question, the live stream will be like for 5 hours, and I don't think anyone wants 5-hour live stream. You have Saturdays, you have things to do, you want Netflix, you want to see Netflix, you want to have some dinner. So just type it once again. Okay, so Steve Deacon says, you're right, chat, but 50 plus is considered old for active military, even though I think most 50 plus can be more fit and healthy than some 20-year-old. Absolutely correct, Steve. My uncle, not fictional, I mean mythical figure, he can still do pull-ups, he's still playing hockey. I'm also a hockey player, by the way, but that's for another live stream. He still plays hockey, and so just simple as that. My current Canadian team, okay, I just said which country I'm from, but well, that's how it is. So one guy on my current team, he's 65. No, yes, he's 68. He's 68. He's still playing hockey with a 68-year-old guy. Okay, so, and then Fabri Nocturno says, this is just a curiosity, but what do you think about those former Soviet republics of Central Asia? Like Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, will they be influenced by this war sooner or later? So, they are kinda maybe influenced at this very moment, because in the very beginning, you know, America was saying, hey, China, do you support Russia or not? And China was like, well, we are kinda neutral. And America was like, no, if you're neutral, you are with Russia, so watch what you think twice before you do something. Same stuff was with Kazakhstan, with Turkmenistan, of these countries. Some of them were directly supporting Ukraine, so Russia was like, hey, like, screw you, don't you remember we have similar past, we're sharing. But eventually they were like, okay, whatever. So the one which was kinda resisting, let's say, so in the very beginning was the country of Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan tried to keep neutrality, so they're like, okay, we're not for Russians, not for Ukrainians, and Russia was like pushing, but like, come on, like, Kazakhstan, come on, like, we made your country to be what it is right now. It's according to officials, it's not what I'm saying. Kazakhstan is a beautiful country. I have several friends from Kazakhstan. I've never been to Kazakhstan, but I love it. It's one of my favorite countries. So, and they were like, and then Kazakh people were like, okay, I guess we kind of need to show some kind of support. It culminated in one of these events where Ukrainian people, I think in Kazakhstan, or just Kazakh people, were protesting against the war. And you know, if you protest against the war in Russia, you're immediately taken into custody, you might be even sent to jail. So the same thing happened in Kazakhstan. Some people were protesting in Kazakhstan against the war, and just like in Russia, these people were taken to custody, and because of this, many other countries, Western countries especially, they were criticizing Kazakhstan. But since then, all these Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Dagestan, these countries kind of remain now neutral, except Chechnya, the TikTok warriors, Ramzan Kadyrov and all this kind of stuff. So they're obviously for Russia, like with their both hands, both feet. They're like, yeah, like we will support Russia no matter what. But that's how it is. Okay, so let's see a couple more new questions. So Chad Free says, I would not use phones. They can track it and geolocate and kill you. Yes, and this is, if you remember, one of my previous videos was, you know, like some Russian soldiers. No, I'm not saying all of them, because I'm hoping at least that even among Russian soldiers there are decent human beings, because the army in Russia is mandatory. So imagine, like, literally you can be just taken on the street, they give you the document that you have to go to the military enlistment officer. If you refuse, this is a criminal offense. So what it means basically, if the military representatives catch Russian man on the street or wherever, they even can go to your apartment, and if they see you face to face and they can confirm your identity, they give you this document which says you have to enlist in the army, basically. As soon as you receive this document, as soon as they confirm your identity, it means that you're legally already in the army. Which basically means if from this date you do not show up in the enlistment officer, this means you're evading army, and this is a criminal offense, which basically means that you either go to the army, which in current situation means you go to Ukraine, or you go to jail. There is no in between. That's it. You will not be able to escape Russia, because first of all the airports are, there's no international flights anymore, except some countries. But still, you go to the check-in in the airport and your name is already in the database. You try to check in for the plane, they're gonna say, there's some kind of problem, just give us 15 minutes. And then they call the nearest police station and they just grab you and bring you to the enlistment officer. So because of this, that's what I'm saying. Probably, hopefully, among some Russian soldiers, there are still decent human beings. Because some of them, they were probably just forced to go to this war. And so what I was gonna say is that some of them are decent human beings, hopefully, some of them are not. They're marauding, they're stealing stuff, and so some Russians, this is just how stupid this can get. They were stealing like AirPods, like these ones, like the headphones from Apple. They were stealing them, but if you own Apple stuff, like you can track your AirPods with your iPhone or iPad or MacBook. And this is exactly what happened. One guy, Ukrainian guy, he got his AirPods stolen, and basically he tracked these AirPods. It was showing that this was like somewhere with the military convoy of Russia. He showed this to Ukrainian soldiers and like, okay, so now we can track the entire military convoy of Russia. Simple as that. And yeah, that's very bad to marauder and to steal stuff, obviously. Okay, so let's see. It's Salad, just wondering, are there any info of Freedom on Russia, or I missed it, where it go? And Freedom on Russia Legion. There have not been much info on them. I'm not sure about which are Freedom of Russia Legion. I think what you're talking about is this new group of Russian soldiers who basically desert Russian army and who join Ukrainian forces. Yes, I heard about them. Yes, they're joining them, but there was not too many news about them. So I would assume they just basically exchange the uniforms and they're just fighting on Ukrainian side. Maybe they're being promised like Ukrainian citizenship at the end of this war. Maybe that's why they're kind of feeling relatively safe. But yeah, they're being brave no matter what, 100%, but they're being extremely risking as well. Because imagine if you're a Russian who deserted your army, who was in the Ukrainian army killing Russians, and then Russians capture this guy. Oh, jail will not be enough for this person, according to Putin. This person will have very big troubles when he is back in Russia. Okay, 82 people. How cool is this? Can we get it to 100? Let's see. Like, this is just insane. This is 25 times more than I usually get during my live stream. So thank you so much everyone for joining. Ask me anything you want. Okay, let me see right now really quick. You can turn off geolocation. Yes, I assume you can. Okay, so Justin Dye says, what do you think will be the best compromise for both sides to end this war? So the best compromise for these sides, like let's first say the best compromise for Ukraine, but this will not be accepted by Russia. The best compromise will be obviously, that's it, Crimea is part of Ukraine, Donbas region, which is Lugansk and Donetsk, is Ukrainian territories. They push all the Russian soldiers away from its territory, and basically that's it. That's the best case scenario for Ukraine, but unfortunately I don't think this is going to happen, because already right now Vladimir Zelensky is already speaking about it. Okay, maybe we will recognize Crimea as a part of Russia. They will still fight for Donbas region, but it looks like there is a possibility that for now Ukraine will have to give up Crimea, unfortunately for them. So this is the best case scenario for Ukraine. The best case scenario for Russia is, I hope it never happens like this, but that's the target of Russia at this very moment of this war, because, you know, every single week they change the main goal of this special military operation. So the best outcome for Russia, they capture Crimea, they capture Donbas, they capture all the Kherson, Mariupol, like all these cities where the active military interventions, and basically shrink Ukraine territory like by 20-30%. I don't think this is gonna happen. I hope this is not gonna happen. So, but this is the best case scenario for Russia in this war. This is their main goal, let's say so. So, but what I personally think what might happen, once again, hopefully it's gonna be like this. Hopefully it's not gonna be any worse than this. Hopefully Russia and Ukraine will start talking, because the reason why Zelensky and Putin have never met yet, it is because technically there are no agreements yet. Because let's say so, Zelensky is always saying, I'm ready to meet with Putin any day, like anytime. If Putin says, let's meet tomorrow, I will be ready to meet with Putin tomorrow. Zelensky is just like this. Putin, and not Putin himself, but you know, he has the speaking mouth of Putin is Dmitry Peskov, the press secretary of Russia, Dmitry Peskov. Basically, whatever Putin is saying to international community, it all goes through Peskov first, and then Peskov says this. And the same stuff, whenever someone says something to Putin, goes first through Dmitry Peskov, and then Peskov gives it to Putin. So Dmitry Peskov says that the reason why Putin does not want to meet yet with Zelensky, it is because there is nothing to discuss yet. It is basically almost his exact quote. So right now, according to them, they're coming with like some agreements, like basically point by point. Like, okay, point 1, Ukraine must give up Crimea, let's say so. Point 2, Ukraine must stop genocide in Donbas region, let's say so. Point 3, Ukraine must, I don't know, remove forces from the borders with Russia, let's say so. Point 4, Russia must take away all of its army back to Russia, let's say so. So this is theoretically, this is hypothetically what they're working on right now. And as soon as such agreements, which both sides agree upon, as soon as these agreements are made, this is when technically Putin and Zelensky can meet and finally talk in person and hopefully end the war. What I think will be most likely as part of this agreement is, yes, once again, since Zelensky himself is already speaking about this, most likely this will be the recognition of Crimea as a part of Russia, first of all, and second is the independence of Lugansk and Donetsk, independence of Donbas region. So basically, Donbas region might not be a part of Russia, but this will be maybe like independent republic, which is like not Russia, not Ukraine. So maybe this is what's gonna happen. Let's see, because it's too early to tell, but this is my wild assumption what's gonna happen. Okay, 93 people, extremely, 7 people more, can we get it? 7 people more, 7 people more, and then we're gonna be extremely cool. Okay, so now let's see what other questions we have. Okay, once again, if I miss your question, I'm apologizing so much because I have so many questions. I've never had this many people watching me, so just type it again and I will hopefully see it eventually and I'll answer to you. So now let's see the most recent questions. Now let's see most recent questions from from Scott Monsma. Scott Monsma is saying, do you think there will be a move on Transnistria, given the bridge bombing and now Odessa airport bombing? So Transnistria, for those of you who might know, this is like we call it in Russian and Ukrainian, it's Pridnestrovia. And I'll be calling it like this because it sounds appropriate for me, because that's how we call it. So this is the region between Moldova and Ukraine. This is the small independent republic. Let's see if I maybe even can show it on my iPad. Let's see if I still have my picture of Pridnestrovia region. Okay, if not, then I'll just open it really quick. Just give me a second, give me a second. Pridnestrovia. Okay, and I'll be sharing my iPad right now. I will show it to you and basically show you exactly what I'm talking about, so it's much easier. Okay, so opening, connecting. Okay, so here we have it. So Pridnestrovia region is Vladimir. Okay, so here it is. Pridnestrovia region is this. I will have to save this. First time doing live stream, so sorry for maybe not being perfect, but okay. Okay, so here we have it. This is Ukraine. This is Ukraine. This is Moldova on the left. Sorry for bad resolution. I just decided to make it as quick as possible, but I guess that's okay. So on the right is Ukraine, on the left is Moldova. And the one which is highlighted in red here, this is Pridnestrovia region, or how I guess it's called in English, it's Transnistria. I can never pronounce it, sorry. So the reason why this is independent republic, it is because back in the 90s, Moldova was saying, at that time they were still part of the USSR when the USSR was about to collapse, and then Moldova was like, okay, we will not recognize Russian as the main official language. And in this region, Pridnestrovia region, which is highlighted in red, there was so many Russian-speaking population. I think 30-35% of people who lived in that region, they were Russian speakers. So for them it was their main language, and for them it was the only language they knew. And so they were like, okay, we don't like it, so let's separate. Of course, there are many other details, but I'm not going to go into much details because otherwise it's going to take 2 hours. But long story short, they did not like that their only language that they knew was not going to be recognized as official language, and they're like, okay, we're going to separate. Eventually, fast forward to our current days, this is still independent republic, and this is where technically Russian speakers live. This is where technically Russia might focus its next attack by liberating this Pridnestrovia region, because according to Russia, Moldovians, they do not like this region, they want to return this region, they want to take it back, they wanted to make it part of Moldova once again, and just like with Donbas, Russia doesn't like it, and Russia wants to liberate this. So, long story short. And because of this, once again, let me put myself right now back full screen myself. Okay, because of this, Russia doesn't like it. Russia maybe wants to liberate this. Right now, this is just an assumption. Right now, this is just a talks. There was several reports that there was going to be a mobilization in this Pridnestrovia region, which basically means that men will be called to army. They're like, okay, you now need to join the army, and just in case if Moldova attacks us. At the same time, Moldova is like saying, not saying anything concrete yet, but what Alexei Arestovich, who is the advisor to the president of Ukraine, he was saying that in case Moldova asks for Ukrainian help, Ukraine will provide forces to basically fight against Pridnestrovia. And at the same time, obviously, Russia was like, okay, so this is very provocative statement you're making. Feels like Russia never provokes anyone. But eventually, this is what they say. Okay, so in case the Ukrainian forces helping Moldova, then Russia obviously will need to send Russian forces to Pridnestrovia, which opens another front for Russia. At this very moment, Russia, it used to be north of the country, which Russia didn't do anything, east of the country, where the still main military operation is concentrated, and south of the country. So south of the country, Odessa, yes, Crimea. This is where Russia was also supposed to advance to bring paratroopers there, but because, a couple of weeks ago, the Russian Navy flagship Moskva was sunk by Ukrainian missiles Poseidon. So this flagship, well, flagship basically means this is the main ship of the Russian army, Russian Navy in the Black Sea region. So as soon as it was sunk, that's it. It was the forces of Russian Navy in that region decreased by half. Because this ship was supposed to provide air support, water support, all kinds of support. So there was supposed to be paratroopers, like ships, other like people going, departing, I don't know, whatever it's called, like in English, from south of Ukraine, and then walking from the south of Ukraine to the east and basically surrounding the Donbass region. So the Navy flagship was sunk. Russia lost its major firepower in this region. For this reason, the south of Ukraine is still under attack, but it's not as much as east of Ukraine. And Russia was like, okay, let's now concentrate mostly of our forces on east of Ukraine. And this is basically what is happening right now. Major fights are happening in that region of the country. For this reason, back to Pridnestrovia, I don't think maybe something extremely extraordinary will happen there, because Russia once again lost its firepower in the south of the country. So if Russia still had its Moskva flagship in that region, it will be so much easier for Russians to advance in Pridnestrovia, because once again, this ship will be providing all kinds of support. But now no ship, no support, so maybe Russia will not do anything at this very moment. It is also being rumored that Putin wants to make some kind of victory before parade, May 9th victory parade. And by the way, I will be streaming Russian victory parade, which will happen May 9th. I will be collecting also donations, which I'll send all of them to Ukraine. Just think how cool is this. We will be watching, so yes, mark your calendars, approximately, I don't remember, I think it will be at night, because May 9th, the parade happens in the morning in Russia, so I think it's like 9 or 10 a.m. I don't know, I will inform you, I will do a post in my YouTube community tab or whatever, on Reddit, whatever, but I think the parade will be around 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so yeah, it is late, but just imagine how cool is this. We'll be watching Russian military parade. It will be in Russian, but it will be translating for you. And they'll be showing all their vehicles, equipment. There'll be Putin giving the speech, how we fight against Ukrainian Nazis, how we defeated Ukrainian Nazis. And this is what I was going to say. I will be collecting donations. We'll be watching Russian victory parade and using all the money that we collected to give to Ukraine. How cool is this? Very excited for this day. So just mark your calendars and see you on May 9th. But back to this. So Putin wants to make some kind of victory, so this victory parade is justified. So for this reason, first of all, it was east, south of Ukraine, now Pridnestrovia, Transnistria. So Putin looks like he's just looking for easy achievement, easy goal, easy objective, easy city, easy village, easy country, whatever, to capture and say, okay, our victory parade, our victory, we captured Odessa, we won in this war, something like this. So for this reason, so many people think that maybe something significant will happen before May 9th, which is, by the way, in just 9 days from now. We're gonna see it. I'll be updating you every single day, as I always do, obviously. So just stay in touch, watch my videos, and we'll see what's gonna happen. Let's see more questions. So yeah, feel free to ask. 101 people watching. We made it. Triple digits. Let's go. Triple digits. Never ever I had so many people watching, so thank you so much. Okay, let's see. Chat freeze. Will Russia hit the reopened embassies for Western countries in Kiev? Asked by Chat freeze. Well, embassy is basically a small part of another country, small land of another country on the territory of another country. Which basically means if you hit the embassy of UK, let's say so, which is in Ukraine, if you attack it, it means that you're attacking the territory of UK. Well, I mean, I hope so. Once again, the officials in Russia are not so crazy, yet at least. So I don't think they will risk engaging other armies, other countries in this war, because even attacking the embassy, it means that that's it, another country is involved in this war. Hopefully they're not gonna attack them, hopefully it's not gonna happen. But yes, Ukrainians, especially those who return to Kiev, they are being warned. Be very careful, return very careful, watch out, there may be some mines, so be careful, just be careful. You can return, but be extremely careful. Okay, let's see. Next question was from Fabri Notturno. Thank you so much, Fabri, for so many questions. Anyway, I've already donated 5 years to UNICEF. Now I cannot donate more. But I want to thank you for the content you're bringing here in any case. You're a very good guy. No, you are a very good guy. Thank you so much, Fabri. And by the way, speaking about donations, now I will give another shout out for the place where I'm collecting donations if you want to donate still. So at the end of this live stream, which is going to happen, I think like in 10-15 minutes, because we're already almost 1 hour live streaming here. Where is the okay, here. So I will be donating money to Ukraine. Because YouTube doesn't let me monetize my channel, I do not get any single dollar from YouTube. YouTube he didn't approve me for monetization, but I want to donate Ukraine and I'm still gonna do it. So at this very moment, I have the only place where we're collecting donations all together. You and me, every single one of you who is watching can join this, is by my Patreon. And so Patreon is basically a subscription-based service. You subscribe to my Patreon. This is on monthly basis. Cancel anytime. You can subscribe right now and immediately cancel if you want just to make one-time donation. Not a problem at all. The main goal here is not make money for me, because I'm going to give all of this away to Ukraine. The main goal is to give it to Ukraine. Give it to Ukraine. Support Ukrainians. They need our money more than we do. For us, $4, $8, it doesn't matter. Just today, I left a tip, which was like $20. It was a tip. It was something that I didn't need to leave, but I gave a tip of $20. So, and here you can see $4 is donations, like 5 times smaller than the tip I left. So, if you want to support the Ukraine, the link is in the description to my Patreon, and if you join it, you will have several benefits. First of all, for $4 donation is the daily Q&A sessions. As soon as I upload my daily videos updates on YouTube, after every single video, I'll be making a post on my Patreon, which basically looks like this: April 29th video Q&A. So I'll be put the thumbnail of the video, and in the bottom you just open this post and you can ask any questions. Let's say so you didn't understand something from the video, or something was confusing, or you want further clarification, you just open this post on Patreon, write down the question, and I'll answer to you within the next like 1 hour or maybe less, depending if I'll be in front of computer or not. This is the benefit that $4 donation gives you on my Patreon. The $8 donation gives you also Q&A sessions every single day. Every single day you can ask me questions. But besides this, those people who donate $8 to Ukraine with us, they will also get access to weekly Patreon exclusive live streams. Just like I'm doing right now, I'm doing the live stream, obviously. Every single week, I'll be summarizing the main events of the week. So for those people who are not able to see all of my daily videos, but they still want to be up to date, they can join this live stream, which is only going to be available for Patreons, and that's it. I will just summarize what happened during this week. This is what $8 donation to Ukraine gives you. And the next one is the $100 donation. This is only limited to 23 people and only 22 spaces left. This gives you all the previous benefits plus group Zoom calls. So you will just be talking face to face with me. I'll be answering your questions, and it doesn't need to be political. We just can hang out. We just can become friends. I've met several friends over the internet just like it is right now. They used to be just my, I don't know, like my friends on Instagram, and now we're friends in real life, in person or over the internet. We will just become friends, and all this money once again goes to Ukraine. So back to me, because no one likes these advertisement promotions, but I just want to help Ukraine as much as possible, and YouTube doesn't let me do this. Okay. So yeah, if you want to join my Patreon, link in the description. I will be donating this money to Ukraine like in the next 10-15 minutes. Your money will go to Ukraine with us. You will be supporting Ukraine together. Okay, next one, let's see. Sava says that once again, you want to hear your opinion on freedom of Russia. Okay, I already talked about this. I'm not sure, unfortunately, about... I'm not sure about the Freedom Legion and Russian Freedom Legion. I only know that these are the Russian deserters who know that Russia is not the one who is right side in this conflict. They don't want to fight with Russia, so they just switch sides and they fight for Ukraine. That's all I know at this very moment. If I know anything more, I will definitely make an update on this. So sorry for this for now. Okay, so Chat Free says that what will declare war on Ukraine to call up the whole country. Unfortunately, I'm not sure exactly what this is about. Okay, Marcel Boone. Sorry, chat. If you can give me more details, I'll answer your question, but I didn't get it at that time. So Marcel Boone, do you think Russia has any future? With all the sanctions, companies left, who will trust Russia again? Just let me drink a little bit. My throat is so dry already. Okay, Russia obviously has future. Russia obviously has the future. Let's see, I really hope it's gonna be under the new management, let's call it like this, because it's just unacceptable. Russia, since the beginning of Russia, there was only basically one president, Mr. Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin. Another president was Dmitry Medvedev in 2008, 2004, 2008, I think, or 2000, yeah, I think, no, 2008 to 2012 was Dmitry Medvedev. And so it was him the president, but he was doing everything Putin was telling him to do, basically. It was so obvious. So since the beginning of Russia, there was only one president, Vladimir Putin. So for this reason, we need some fresh blood, some new vision, some new strategies, some new everything, basically, new everything. So hopefully, let's see how it's gonna go, but that's what Russia needs at this very moment so much. Russia has the future, sanctions are hard. But Russia was making so many, like whenever you instead of buying, let's say, so cheese from France, you start buying cheese from Russia. I forgot what's the name of this. Like, it's like you replace international food with your Russian produce, with the Russian groceries. So this is what Russia been doing in the last several years. Russia was preparing for something like this kind of isolation. So for this reason, Russia, yes, it is self-sufficient country at this very moment. Of course, the limited selection will be limited selection. There will be no good cars, let's say, so only Ladas and say some Chinese equivalents maybe. There's not going to be many selection, but that's how USSR used to be. There was not much to select from, not many things to select from. Unfortunately, that's how it's going to be the worst case scenario for Russia. Maybe it's going to be Iron Curtain, so people won't be able to fly, to travel, unfortunately. But, well, that's what I'm saying. We need some fresh blood, some new management, upper management, and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, definitely I would say that Russia has the future. Okay, so why Lavrov is so ugly? Asked by Pak. Because he's old, I guess. Okay, so Chat Free says, UK and USA already reopened their embassies. Yes, Russian dude, could you set up a GoFundMe for donations for Ukraine? I will take a look at this after the live stream. So yeah, I will definitely take a look at this. If I forget, just remind me in the comments or anywhere else. You can also, by the way, find me on Instagram. Just go in the description. Following me on Instagram is free. Don't worry, I'm not selling you anything. So if you also want to keep in touch for me, watch my pictures, how I live, I'm not just the guy on the other side of the screen. I'm just another person just like you. Just another person who you can go walk down the street and we're just gonna walk past to each other. We're not even gonna recognize each other. I'm just another person. So just if you want, just go ahead, follow me on Instagram. And this is where if you want, you can keep in touch with me as well. So Fabri Nocturne. I also see Syria as semi-Russian puppet state, especially after Putin helped Assad during the civil war. That's why Syria supported LPR, Lugansk and Donetsk. Basically recognition, and some even speculate Assad sent some troops. Yes, I heard about Syrians sending some troops to Russia. There was no too much news about what happened with these troops. Maybe they're fighting, maybe they're just holding some positions. And yes, I saw there was some protests supporting Russia in this war, but you know, whenever there is an actual protest, this is a very good propaganda trick, by the way. So as soon as I learned this, I never saw it different. So pay attention right here. This is perfect propaganda trick that being used against you. So whenever government wants you to think the way they want you to think, and let's say, so there are protesters. If this is something really that people support, of course there's going to be big protesters. It's going to be huge squares. It's going to be city squares full of people, thousands of people with banners, flags, with the music, all this kind of stuff. In case this is something people really want, the government will show you on the TV channel during news reports. They'll show the scale of the event. They'll show you thousands of people. And they'll show, yes, look at this. There are thousands of people supporting this. But in case this is something that government wants you to think or to do, but it's against something what people want, so the protesters will be like, let's say, so 20 people, 30 people, 50 people, 100 people. So it's not going to be thousands of people. They will be taking they'll be taking big snapshots of the heads. They'll be like doing close-ups. It's not going to be showing the entire square. They're gonna take camera and do it like this, like close to you. So like you don't see that there's not that many people. So pay attention to this. And this is what exactly happened. Whenever Russian propagandistic channels were showing that Syria is supporting Russia, we have the allies in Syria, they were showing like there was like 5 people standing next to each other, and they were showing them like faces. Entire screen was filled with their faces, so you cannot see anything behind them. So the protest was like maybe 100 or people or something like this, but they were showing like big faces. So keep in mind, next time you see something, keep this in mind. Okay, next one. Ed Savat said, Putin been using the same old playbook since 1990s to annex territories. Basically, yes. Right now, the playbook to annex, to conquer territories, first of all, is to send infiltrators, which will make the territory to separate from the country. Let's call it like this Donbas region, Lugansk, Donetsk. First is to send infiltrators, which will destabilize the territory from the inside, which eventually results in this territory wanting to separate from Ukraine. This is what we're seeing right now. The next step is to do a referendum among people to acknowledge, let's say so, officially the independence of the region. So this is where people will vote if they want to be independent from Ukraine or not. Second step. And the third step, as soon as the independence is officially recognized by basically this region and Russia alone, but no one else, this is when the next step will be to do again a referendum to join Russia. So 3 steps. Send infiltrators, make independency, and then join Russia. So right now, Donbass in the second stage. So let's see. Okay, next one is Steve Deacon. What do you think it will take for the rest of the world to forgive Russia, and how long after the war before they start to ease sanctions? The rest of the world will forgive Russia eventually, I guess sooner or later, maybe as soon as the upper management of Russia is changed. This is when Russia is start to be forgiven. I hope so, at least. But, well, you know, every person is individual. I'm definitely sure that Ukraine will not forgive Russia in this generation, maybe in the next generation as well. So, unfortunately, regular Russians will be against regular Ukrainians in most cases. Unfortunately, unless you're like friends or relatives from Ukraine and Russia. In this case, yeah, you will remain relatives, most likely. But eventually, yeah, it will take very long for the world to forgive Russia, unfortunately, so that's unfortunate. I just have no words to say, and hopefully the only way I can help with the healing of Russian reputation is by updating you guys, is by speaking with you, is by showing that not every single Russian is the one who supports Putin. Like, being Russian does not equal I support Putin. Simple as that. Same as being American doesn't equal I support Biden. Same as I'm American, I do not support Trump. Whatever. Like, every single person, every single country, they're all different. Simple as that. Okay. Okay, let's see. It's Sava. Another question. Will all the sanction house the ruble still stable? I seen a drop early during the sanction, but recently it's back up. Okay, perfect question. Economics really quick. So I know, don't close my live stream, because economics is boring for everyone except me, I guess, and maybe even it's Savat as well. So thank you so much for this question. Very briefly. In the very beginning, when the war started, the exchange rate between ruble and dollar went from like 70 rubles for $1 all the way to almost like 140 rubles for $1. Basically 2x increase in the exchange rate. The grocery stores, the stores in Russia, shops, everything, basically the prices went up as well almost immediately. Right now the exchange rate is back to normal, like 75, 80 rubles for $1. But groceries didn't bring the prices down. Groceries like, well, the bringing prices down takes time. We cannot react so quick. So that's very unfortunate for Russians, but that's how stupid economics works. The bringing prices up is immediate, bringing prices down takes time, apparently, somehow. So the reason why ruble went up so quick, it is because war started. This is like black swan. This is huge uncertainty. You don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe well, it's pretty obvious. And the reason why it started to stabilize, it is because of the central bank was doing so many interventions. Central Bank of Russia, obviously. First of all, it prohibited, if I'm not mistaken, because there was not too many news recently about Russian currency. So it prohibited, let's say, so like you cannot buy, first of all, you cannot exchange rubles for dollars or euros. So simple as that. So people were not selling ruble. Simple as that. You know, economics works supply and demand. If there is more supply, the price goes down. If there is more demand, the price goes up. I think yes. If there is more supply, price goes down. If there is more demand, price goes up. So if there is not a single person who is selling rubles, because you just simply cannot sell rubles for any other currency. So basically there is no supply. So the price goes down, because demand is same, but supply is basically non-existent. The price goes down. So the exchange rate started to go down. Eventually they said, okay, you can buy US dollars and euros, but there is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, 20% commission. So let's say, so you're buying $100 and you spend for this, let's say, so the exchange is 100 to make it simple math. So you buy $100, so you spend 10,000 rubles. And from these 10,000 rubles, you give away 2,000 because of the commission. So obviously it did not make any economical or financial sense to do this. So even though the supply started to back up, to go up again, so this was still didn't make any financial sense. So people are still not selling, not getting rid of ruble. Another thing is that all the international investors in the Russian stock market, they were not allowed and still not allowed to sell stocks of Russian companies. So if you invested in Russian companies, publicly traded companies, before the whole thing started, right now you cannot sell these shares. Right now you are stuck with the shares of Russian companies, which basically means that you are once again not doing any transactions with rubles or whatever. Like basically you are not doing any kind of transactions. And the last thing is that whenever you deposit money in the bank, you know, you have like a checking account and savings account. Whenever you put money in the savings account, they give you some interest rate. For example, in America, in Canada, the interest rate can be like 0.5%, 1% maximum, something like this. So you deposit, let's say, so $100,000, and in 1 year you only make, let's say, so $500, so like $1,000 in interest. Basically nothing. So it's like not worth it. So Russians said, in case you want to deposit US dollars and euros, the interest rate will be low. But if you deposit rubles, then we can give like 20% interest rate. So basically in the stock market, if some of your investors, so in the stock market, the average annual return is like 6, 7, 8% after the inflation. And now imagine, and this is the stock market, which can go up and down 20% every single year. And now you have a savings account in Russian currency, in Russian rubles. You just bring them and you're guaranteed to receive 20% return. You deposit the same $100,000 and by the end of the year you receive $20,000 guaranteed, because Central Bank of Russia will be the last bank to collapse. So of course people, once again, they were buying rubles because they just wanted to bring this money and get this guaranteed returns as soon as possible, because you deposit it, that's it, you lock in, you start receiving money basically starting next day, next month. So once again, there was big demand for rubles. And once again, big demand, low supply, the exchange rate of ruble to US dollar or euros or any other currencies was inadequate, I think that's the word, and basically that's the way. All these were artificial interventions. Everything the Central Bank of Russia did was artificial, and this is not sustainable. Which basically means as soon as they removed this, how it's called, as soon as they remove this fee for buying international currencies, because now if you want to buy US dollar, there's no more fee. You saw that the exchange rate went up again. Now it's again kind of getting stabilized because once again, central bank is helping. But what I mean here is that all this is artificial. It is not sustainable. If I'm not mistaken, Russia spent maybe 4% or 6% of its all reserves, of the central bank reserves, in 1 month, just to stabilize the Russian currency. So imagine if you spend let's make it clear, 5% of your reserves in 1 month, you can only sustain this strategy for 20 months maximum, because that's it. After this, you'll just simply run out of money. Of course, this was it was unsustainable, and as soon as all these restrictions were easing up, the exchange rate will start to go up again. So it is in the hands of the central bank of Russia right now. We'll see what they're gonna do, but once again, I don't think it's sustainable. So I think, and because right now the war is not maybe as intense as this used to be, so long story short, I think the exchange rate will stabilize maybe somewhere around 80 rubles for $1. Okay, let's get some couple of more questions, because I'm already getting out of breath and we already need to donate money to Ukraine, and we already been doing this for more than an hour, I think. So let's see a couple more questions. If you have any questions which I didn't answer, which I missed them, I'm so sorry. You can type them again and I will answer them right now. Okay, Fabri Noturno says, in the first days of sanctions against Russia, I saw many stories of Russian people on Instagram showing problems with Tinkoff Bank in particular, but now I guess it's again stable, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Tinkoff Bank, basically all banks are at problem, and by the way, right now Tinkoff Bank is being renamed. So the guy, the creator of the Tinkoff Bank, Oleg Tinkoff, Russian oligarch, so whenever he was in Russia, he was like, Putin is the greatest president, Putin must be Tsar of Russia, let's crown Putin, let him rule until he dies, like, we need Putin, Russia needs Putin. And that's how he became Russian oligarch, simple as that. So then the war started, and even before the war he immigrated. I think he's in Israel right now, and that's it. He said, I don't like Putin. Let's make it politically correct at this very moment. He said, I don't like Putin, and that's it. Bank says, no, we don't know who is Oleg Tinkoff. He is not the owner of the bank anymore. They make him for... Oleg Tinkoff already sold his 35% share in his own bank, and bank is saying right now, that's it. We will rename the bank as soon as possible. So this is one quick story about the Tinkoff Bank. Another one, and Steve says, very good thing. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Raising the awareness of this channel and the Russian dude's unbiased news reports about Ukraine. Yes, thank you so much, Steven. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Fabri says, anyway, I'm Italian and I'm pretty ashamed that there are many people in my country who believe completely Russian propaganda. Italy-Russia relationship is historic. That would explain that. But our government fully supports Ukraine, fortunately. Well, you always support the one who you think is the right one, but as you can see, the whole world basically knows who is the right, who is wrong in this conflict. So I have, I would say, a couple of Italian friends, if I'm not mistaken. The reason why I have so many international friends, when I was a kid, I was going every summer, like for 4 or 5 years, to English language summer camp. And this had all the kids around the world. So I had like Bulgarian friends, Italian friends, Croatian friends, Ukrainian friends, American friends, English friends, British friends, I mean, like all kinds of them. So welcome, welcome to Italy. Welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for Fabri for asking so many questions. Fabri, you basically made this live stream. You, Fabri, chat at Savat. Thank you all so much for making this live stream so lively, so full of interaction, so full of talking. Okay, next one is saying, chat freeze, are you safe to stay in USA? I'm not in the USA right now, but wherever I am right now, it is pretty safe right now. Hopefully it stays the same. Okay, Steve Deacon. And Steve Deacon, of course. Thanks so much, Steve, for supporting. There are many ignorant people in all parts of the world. Hopefully we can help them see the truth and change their mind. That's my goal of this channel. That's my goal as of content creator. And if you allow me to ask you to help me by spreading the news, by spreading this channel among your friends, relatives, once again, I'm not making any single dollar from this. All I want is for the world to see that there are decent Russians, that some people in Russia, they do support Ukraine because we're not propagandized. And I need your help. If you don't mind, help me with these guys. I'm not asking anything in return. Simple as that. Okay, so and then adds out, will the land lease from USA in fact, how you think this would change the effect of the war now? Land lease could be potentially the turning point in this war, because this basically means that the weapons that USA will be sending to Ukraine will be sent without all this bureaucracy, without, Ukraine doesn't even need to buy these weapons, it can just lease it. And leasing basically means you just kind of rent it, long-term rent. For this reason, sending weapons will be so quick to Ukraine right now, couple of weeks maybe they're gonna start sending them. But the main part right now about the war is that previously Ukraine was defending itself. Right now, the stage of the war as of Ukrainians is collecting, accumulating offensive weapons. They're collecting weapons from Europe, from America, from Germany, from all over the world. Whoever sends them weapons, they just basically collect them and train how to use them. As soon as they have enough weapons, once again, according to Alexei Arestovich, who is the advisor to the president of Ukraine, Ukraine will launch its massive, maybe hopefully final counterattacks in June, July of this year. This is his words. So, which basically means that approximately for the next month, Ukraine will be just collecting weapons, and then in May, in June, I mean, they will start launching counterattacks. So hopefully June, July, this summer is whenever the end of this war will be clear in sight. Let's call it like this. Fabri Notturno, you were right before, absolutely. During Syrian war, the government conveniently showed only pro-government protests, because it's true some people support Assad, but they hid the anti-government protests, of course. Yeah, I know these tricks. Thank you very much. I'm flattered. No, thank you so much. Chat, that is good. It's out is dubbing. I'm also gonna dub as well. So yeah, by the way, as you can see, I can smile. All the reports that I'm doing, I'm not smiling at all, but I'm smiling in real life a lot. So yes, Mike Kennedy, do many Russians within Russia think that NATO actually want to invade their country? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I mean, what I think main propagandistic idea that people of Russia get into their heads is that Ukrainians are Nazis, allegedly Nazis, I mean, and that they're killing Russian Ukrainians who live in Ukraine. And the main goal of this war by Russia is to liberate them from Nazis, to remove all the Nazis from power, all this kind of stuff. NATO for them is basically like the ones who are supporting Nazis, but they're most likely not going to do anything with Russia. What they're going to do is just support Ukraine by infusing them with weapons. So I don't think they think that NATO will invade Russia as well eventually. Chad Freeze that US will send cruise missiles. Maybe. And Justin Dye, why do you think Lavrov was threatening the West with nukes just 3 days ago, and then yesterday he came out and said nuclear war should never happen, Russia is against it? Why the flip-flop? Because that's how Russian government basically is always is. They do not, maybe they have in their minds the clear goals of this war, but they still cannot basically tell exactly what they're looking for. First of all, this was the liberation of Donbass. Then it was killing all the Ukrainian Nazis. Then it was preventing the Third World War. Then it was removing USA as the main political force from the political arena, something like this. Like reducing the dominancy of USA on the political arena, let's call it like this. Now it's, I don't know, like liberating, helping Pridnestrovia against Moldova. Now it's like this, now it's that. So that's the thing, like they always change their minds. And once again, the reason why what they say about nukes, it is because they were threatening them, because like, don't play with us. Like think twice before you say something, but they were not gonna use them. And now when the US Ministry of Defense of the USA, Pentagon basically, they said, okay, we got your bluff, you're bluffing, we're tracking all your nuclear weapons, you're not gonna use them. I guess Russians like, okay, they got our bluff, so now we're gonna say something like that we're against the war. Okay. So that's basically, okay, Mr. Gulin, Matt Gulin, oh, Matt, welcome Matt. It was good in Montreal, eh? Steve Deacon says, Mike Kennedy, from the surveys the Russian dude showed, around 45% believe the war in Ukraine is fully justified and they fully support because of the Russian propaganda. Well, that's the survey. Like, surveys are kinda truthful, but you can never fully trust surveys because, let's say, so they take 20,000 people, but the population of Russia is 146 million. So 20,000 of people is kind of representative, but it's not entire Russia. Let's say, so among my friends, personally, among my friends, I would say that predominantly, most of my friends are against the war. I would say almost all of my relatives are against the war. Maybe just one family is supporting the war. The rest are either neutral or not supporting it at all. And I would say that like 5-10 friends, they support the war, the rest is against the war. So as you can see, service might not be accurate all the time. Okay, so John Price, I have enjoyed listening to you because it's good to know that all Russians are not crazy. You are cool. God, guy, bless Ukraine. Slava Ukraini. Героям слава. Chad Freeze, Ukraine should take out the Crimean Bridge, also called the Kerch Strait Bridge. I was not following the news today because Saturday, Sundays for me are kind of chill day. I read the news at night, but I'm not doing daily reports. And I include the major news of the week, of the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, in my Monday report. So, but yeah, I heard about some bridges being taken out. Steve Deacon, although support has fallen. Brad Bastian, why is there such a lack of morals or ethics in Russians not from major cities? Propaganda. Because if you're poor, unfortunately, if you're poor Russian, the only source of entertainment for you is TV. Like, why is my family is not brainwashed? We were lucky enough to have money, let's say so. We are traveling around the world. Before it all started, even before Crimea crisis, before 2014, like in 2008, 2009, 2010, when everyone was friends with each other, we're going by car around entire Europe 3 times. First time we went from Russia all the way to Spain and then back to Bulgaria, back to Russia. So this was from east of the Europe to west of Europe and back from west Europe to east of Europe. The next trip was a little bit small, like Romania, I mean Ukraine, Romania, Bulgaria, something like this. Then back to Russia. And the third trip was from the north of Europe all the way to the south of Europe. So went from Moscow to St. Petersburg, took the ship, like the one where you put your car, how it's called, like we call it parom, and then you went from St. Petersburg to Finland, and we were going by car Finland, Sweden, Norway, then all the way down to Denmark, and then once again driving around Europe. So we've seen every single European country except Portugal. So if you're from Portugal, invite me, I'll be more than happy to go to Portugal. We've been to Japan, India, USA, like so many different countries. We saw that people are good around the world. Like, we do not go to restaurants and people like, oh, look, they're Russians and they're spitting in their food. No, nothing ever happened like this. But whenever you're watching the TV 24/7, whenever you don't have money to go abroad, like whenever you don't have the money to see how other people live, you watch TV and you're like, okay, so if this is what they say, I guess that's the truth. So I'm just gonna believe it. And this is what they say. Oh, Americans stealing Russian babies. Oh, Canadians, I don't know, like forcing us to do the vaccinations, blah, blah, blah. Whatever, I'm just giving. Ukrainian Nazis are killing Russian speakers, so if you speak Russian in Ukraine, watch out because you can be killed, you can be shot in the head. Because of this, they watch and they're like, oh, these Ukrainians, they like, if that's everyone talking about, I guess that's the truth. So, and this is without even seeing this with their own eyes, they just start believing this. And because of this, because Russia unfortunately is a pretty poor country, it's, let's say, so second world country. So we have some main concentration of wealth in Russia is concentrated in West, in the cities obviously of Moscow, St. Petersburg, basically that's it. So the rest of Russia, the rest 90% of land of Russia is like almost living on the poverty line. They're living from paycheck to paycheck. My friend, my father's friend, he has a son. He's working in construction, like something very basic. His salary, guess it. Like right now, put your salary estimations for construction worker outside of Moscow. He works like this city is like 3 hours driving away from Moscow, so it is still kind of close to Moscow. It's not like Siberia or anything like this. He works in construction, some like first entry-level job. Guess his salary. I'll give you like 10 seconds and then I'm gonna give you the answer. Just to see how much you think he's making per month. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. His monthly salary is $50 per month. 50. He makes $50 per month. This is his salary, monthly salary. And because of this, once again, obviously, you cannot even buy any tickets, nothing like this. You can barely, you just buy, I don't know, potatoes, water, and basically that's it. Like, you barely have enough money for groceries. So of course you're not gonna have like anything, just have the TV in front of you. And because of this, people getting propagandized. Russian propaganda is very strong. If you remember, in one of my episodes, I did this like a timetable schedule, TV schedule, 22 hours and 40 minutes per day is TV channels, news channels, and propaganda. 1 hour and 20 minutes, the rest is like, one is the TV show about health, and one is like TV show about like bandits or whatever, like about something like this. 22 hours, 40 minutes is propaganda. So obviously when people watch it, when they don't have cable, when they don't have satellite, whatever, whenever they don't have internet even, that's the only they see. 22 hours, 40 minutes per day of propaganda. But okay, let's get to the next question. Okay. Oi. Chat freeze. No, Justin died. Just want to say I subscribed. Will be following. Thank you for answering my questions. I've had a lot of anxiety over Russian threats, and you have made my anxiety feel better. So thank you. No, thank you, Justin. You saying warm words like this is what makes me realize that my mission here on YouTube is basically succeeding. Changing one person perspective is already so good, because let's hope so I kinda started shifting your mindset. Maybe you're gonna speak with this about to your parents, to your kids if you have them, to your friends, to your relatives, so you're gonna spread it, then these people will spread it to their friends. Just changing the mindset of one person can already have cluster effect, I guess that's the name, like tree roots. So thank you so much, every single one of you watching, so thank you so much. Okay, next one. I'm speaking so much, my stomach hurts already, so let's get closing arguments very soon. Okay, so at some point when it's Savat. Okay, chat freeze. Have you sent the move Red Dawn PG 13 1984? If you should, give it a go. If it's like movie, I don't think I've seen it. I might give it a try. Okay, and it's Savat. At some point when like 40 countries are united against you, that says something. I know, right? Fabri Notturno, I noticed that there is a difference between major Russian cities and what is this? And the so-called deep Russia with poor people. Looks like time has not passed for them from Tsar to Stalin until Putin. Then maybe I'm wrong. No, you are absolutely correct. You go away from major cities and yes, you see people who still feed from their own land. So they have their small garden and they basically grow almost all of their vegetables, maybe some meat, they have some chickens, beef, I don't know, cows, and they plant, they grow, and then they eat it. So basically that's the way they survive. Okay, 56,000 US dollars, I think that was the guess. My brother works in union construction job in Seattle, they Mars $50 per hour. You see, in Seattle you make $50 per hour in construction, in Russia you make $50 per month. Chat freeze. I'm retired military and I don't work. I was wounded in Afghanistan, get 100% disability through the veteran affairs. So I'm paycheck to paycheck also. Well, if you are veteran in Russia, you will have not enough money anyways, because you see so many Russian veterans with like missing their limbs. They're just being beggars basically on the streets because it's just simply not enough. So basically how Russian army works, if you're just simple soldier and not some higher officer or general, you finished your service, they shake your hand, say thank you, until next time, and then you're on your own basically. Okay, it's Savat. Oh gosh, I seen the one about where they wanted to nuke the whole West and said they will go to heaven, and everyone else, yes, I know. This was the propagandistic channel, Vladimir Solovyov, Margarita Simonyan, two biggest propagandists of Russia. They were like, if we don't win, no one will win. Well, let's just nuke them, everyone dies, but at least we'll go to heaven. That's the state of propaganda in Russia, by the way. Brett Bastian, sad thing is Russian economy should have grown substantially with opening of northern sea routes and warming in north for resource extraction. Now, not so much. I know. We are one of the richest countries in terms of natural resources, but just look at the GDP per capita, like income per person, whatever it's called in English, you get the idea. We have almost as many natural resources as like Saudi Arabia, no, Canada, all these countries, but just look how much better they live than regular Russians. Russia is the land of the most unofficial billionaires. If you really put Russian billionaires in Forbes, they're gonna be maybe somewhere around Elon Musk with like $300 billion, but officially they only have like 14, 15, 20. Imagine this, if you're a Russian oligarch and officially you have $15 billion, you have way more than this. Trust me, you have way more than this. Fabri Noturno. And how about Poland? Do some Russians think that Poland too should come under Ruski Mir? Or is Poland not so important? Ask you because a part of Poland used to be a part of Russian Empire. And during Cold War, Poland was a Soviet communist puppet state. Well, unfortunately, Poland for us right now is kind of, well, I mean, fortunately maybe, it's kind of neutral, so we do not kind of care. I mean, not we, I care about every single country, I'm just saying about Russians. It's not about that we don't care in the bad meaning of this word, it's just like, okay, Poland and Poland. So right now, I don't think Poland has anything to do with Russia, so most Russians don't talk about Poland at this very moment. And yes, chat, thank you so much for your service, chat. Thank you so much for your service, chat freeze. Thank you. It's out says, yes, thank you for your service. Fabri Noturno, I mean, it's already what I read. Like the Amish, Diat. Okay, Diat. What do you think should change in Russia to make sure anything like this could never happen again, or at least not be started by Russia? Once again, change of the political system, I would say, to say the least, but it's going to be very complicated, obviously. Unfortunately, a change of the mindset, because right now we are coming back from the USSR. It might fell apart kind of long time ago, 30 years ago, but the mindset is still basically the same, which is like, if you're in politics, it's about bribery, it's about the lies, it's about, I don't know, like, if I lie, it's the future of someone else, if it's the problem of future of someone else, like, I'm gonna just deliver good news, I'm gonna make my government happy, I'm gonna be, I don't know, productive on the words, but then we're gonna figure out later. So that's the mindset. I'm curious, how much do pensioners get per month? If it does, a Russian soldier widow get... Okay, so first about pensioner. It's out. So unfortunately, yes, like pensions in Russia are also very, very small. I would say that every single friend that I have, all of their grandparents, they're still supported by their parents, by their kids, basically. So in Russia, if you're pensioner, I don't know how to pronounce it, but you get the idea. If you're retiring in Russia, you will need to most likely get support from your kids. Otherwise, it will be barely enough. Like, unless you have your business or anything like this, or you saved a lot of money. But it's Russian mindset also not to save anything. Like, you made, let's say, so $1,000 per month, and Russian mindset is like to spend as much as possible without going into debt. So you made $1,000 per month, you'll spend like $900 per month. I don't know, because, well, I have money, what else should I do with this? So many Russians do not have savings. And is it true that Russian soldier widow gets $135 compensated? Yes, there were some pictures of Russian widows, like with their kids, and they were just holding 10,000 rubles. And this is approximately, according to current exchange rates, like, yes, $130, $140. They were promised 7 million rubles, which is, according to current exchange rate, once again, I think approximately like $80, $90, $100,000. This is what they were promised. They only got $135. I mean, that's not something to laugh about, but that's ironically bad, I would say. Okay. Okay, Poland is NATO, chat freeze, so they should be okay. I thought the USSR was the SSSR. It is the SSSR, yes, that's how we pronounce it. How can you make videos... okay, can you make videos about low childbirth rates? Said Hot. How can they raise next generation of patriots? And obviously no new generation to contribute to support all generation. Okay, I can maybe put down as a video idea. I can, because 1 month from now I will be gone for a week. I will be pre-recording the videos. Like approximately by the end of May, I will just have like my videos scheduled. I will not be at home. Not gonna say where I'm going, because I don't know, maybe some KGB people watching me right now. So, but don't worry, every single day there will be a video. Every single day, Monday through Friday, like between 6 and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there will be videos. So don't worry, I got you covered. And yeah, I might make video about this. Okay, and Marty Moose. I read the video from Dead Soldiers are only being compensated $130. Yes, this is accurate. Maybe it's not the case everywhere, but that's what I've seen as well. And there are pictures of these people, like basically the proof. And the pair of boots, exactly. And the pair of boots. There was one family who lost the father, and then they had the small kid and grown-up kid. And this kid was right now in Ukraine, like training. So they gave 10,000 rubles, $130 for that father, and they have the pair of new soldier boots for the son, which is like, here are the boots, keep going, go on the war, like not like bringing him back because the family needs some like older man to take care of them or anything like this. I don't know, like, here are your boots, go back to war. Steve Deacon, I just hope that most people will realize that most Russians are good people and just the same as anyone else in the world, not blame them for this war, and only Putin and his cronies. Well, you get the idea. Not all the Russians are bad. So hopefully some of this can be changed. Hello, KGB. Привет, КГБ. Привет, КГБ. Пожалуйста, не забирайте меня, КГБ. Я не хочу в Сибирь. Lucas Zaibas, are you in Russia, and if so, will you not get in trouble for your content? I'm not in Russia, hopefully I'm not getting in trouble for my content. I'm speaking the truth, I'm being neutral, let's call it like this, so I hope everything's gonna be good. And Hat, do you have family in Russia? What do they think about your videos? My father is very proud of me because I'm speaking out. Yeah, so that's the thing. So they're not threatened, hopefully it stays the same. I wish this is all gonna be over soon and everything will be good. A couple more questions and then we donate because I think it's already almost 2 hours. Okay, that. What do you think about Finland and Sweden seeking to join NATO? I was talking about this in the beginning, but just a brief summary. So the main goal of Russia was to stop the expansion of NATO, and now we see 2 more countries joining the NATO. So we completely failed. I mean, Russia completely failed in this special military operation. So is this a threat to Russia? At this point, I don't think so, because Russia is already struggling with just Ukraine alone, so just opening a war against NATO will completely eliminate all the chances for success at this point. What are your thoughts on the situation in Mariupol? I only hope they get out. So yeah, Mariupol is one of the most destroyed cities in Ukraine at this very moment. The entire territory except the steel factory Azovstal is occupied by Russians. There were attempts to make the civilians escape this Azov factory. It was unsuccessful yesterday, and today I heard that some families started escaping. Hopefully they can escape. Hopefully Russians leave Mariupol, because that's the city is in ruins. Like, what else would you need from there? I really like Mila Jovovich. Me too, chat. Okay, let's donate now. Let's donate. I think it's perfect time to pause. We will be donating right now live. So I selected once again, like I mentioned, I selected the Red Cross. I'll be doing this live, so you don't think that I'm just stealing money or anything like this. So I will do right now because it asks me for all my personal information, so that I will not reveal my address to Mr. KGB. So let me put right now the screen. Okay, so here it is. Canadian Red Cross. Donate to the Ukraine humanitarian crisis appeal. So right now let's refresh the Patreon. How much money we have? How much money we collected from you? Oh, 7. Welcome. Let's see who are the new people, so I can get a personal shout outs for you all people, for you guys, for you friends. Okay, so we have Jen Hayes with $100, Steven Deacon with $5 with $4 donation. We had It Savat with $8 donation, and S Monsma with $8 donation. Thank you so much, everyone. Everything will go right now to obviously Ukraine. So once again, to show you right here, we have at this very moment 7 Patreons, $122 per month. I already withdrew money to my PayPal. So now I'm gonna round it up, obviously, why not? And we're gonna donate $150. And by the way, if you still want to join the donation, you still have time, because I'm gonna be donating right now. So if you want to be a part of this donation, feel free to join my Patreon. The link is in the description. You'll get some household benefits. $4 donation gives you daily Q&A sessions with me. $8 donation gives you weekly summary Patreon exclusive live streams. And $100 donation gives you private Zoom calls with me, just so we can hang out and become friends. Okay, $120 at this very moment I'm getting per month in donations, which all of them will be donated to Ukraine. So we go to Red Cross, we refresh the page because I opened it yesterday in case anything changed. Okay, so right here we have $150. We pressed it, donor information, and this is I think where I need to hide myself because this will reveal all my personal information and I don't want to be taken to gulag. So in the meantime, just enjoy my face. I'll populate all the data, and before I click submit, I will show it to you so you see that I'm not stealing your money, because why would I? Okay, so my first name is the Russian dude. Obviously it's not, but I cannot say it. My address is this one. And by the way, in the meantime, while I'm populating the data, so it's not like awkward silence or anything, just let me know in the comments what else you want to know. Any final questions, because as soon as I donate, we're just gonna say bye to each other. I'm gonna answer final questions, and then we're gonna see you together once again on Monday. So in the meantime, yeah, feel free to ask your questions, feel free to speak with each other, and I'll get back to you in like 1 minute. Just give me 30 seconds. Just give me 20 seconds. Okay, city of this, country of this, province of this, postal code of this. I hope I'm not revealing my this one. This is the phone number. This is the email address. Just give me a second, almost done. Already pressing on my payment details. Okay, so I guess I can show the screen right now. Let me see. Just before I press the final button. Okay, so I guess you just see right now the last screen. And then in the end, I will go to my PayPal just to see that $150 left my account. So once again, everything is transparent. Everything is, as I say right now. Okay, and I press donate $150. Final warning for those of you who want to join, very last second for you to join the Patreon if you want to be a part of this donation. I will add this off stream. If some people will be donating right now and it will not be included, I will donate it after the live stream, but it will be donated to Ukraine. Every single dollar will go to Ukraine. You will be donating with us, with the part of the Russian dude community, with the community of people who are not brainwashed by anything, who know that the world is a good place to live in. Okay. And now I'm pressing donate $150 now. I guess it will ask me for my PayPal login information right now. Yes, it is. So let's see. Okay, you are seeing my email. So yes, if you want, just send me some emails if you want. That's the password. I guess it will ask me for my one-time passcode right now. Let's see, where is it? Yes, one-time passcode. Let me see my phone. Okay, and the passcode is... Always use two-factor authentication. This helps you a lot. I one time got stolen some data, but I was able to recover everything before disastrous conditions. And then I immediately connected two-factor authentication. Never happened before, never happened after. It changes every single like 30 seconds, so I can show it because in 30 seconds there'll be a new code. Okay, no, that's not my address right now. That's my old address, so don't worry. Okay, so PayPal conversion rate, 1 USD with the conversion rate, so that's 150 Canadian dollars, I assume, because we're paying with Canadian dollars. But I guess that's it. I will be donating. If there's any more patrons, I'll donate later, because I don't see where I can change the numbers. No, these are, oh, yes, okay, so here it is. 150 Canadian dollars right here. As you can see, Canadian Red Cross, 150 Canadian dollars. And I press continue. One more step they're asking for. Okay, that's it. We just donated $150 together. So, feels so good, to be honest. So now let me back that's it. So thank you for a generous gift. Thank you, a donation of $150 to the Ukrainian humanitarian crisis appeal. The Red Cross movement will continue to respond to the humanitarian needs on the ground. With the recent escalation in conflict, we are scaling up efforts and are ready to expand and adapt an emerging needs. Your feedback. I'm very happy. I'm always very happy. I don't need tax receipt. All my donations are. How would you rate the donation process? Very easy. Okay, I'll do it later, obviously. Okay, so now let me put back myself, say some closing thoughts. But that's how it is. We just donated $150, and this is what we're going to be doing every single month for as long as this conflict in Ukraine is happening. YouTube is not letting me monetize my content. That's why the only way I can help Ukraine with you, because I know some of you want help and they want to be part of community. It is so much easier to donate money when you're part of something, even small group of people, even it's like 7-10 of you. I wasn't like this myself. When I was alone asked to, can you please donate $100? I don't know, like, can you please give us like some money, blah, blah, blah. I was always like hesitant. But whenever I'm part of something, it's so much easier. Whenever I was in my hockey team, we were donating to one of the women because they had some financial problems in the family. The whole team was donating. And it was just so much easier to give money because I was part of the group, part of the team. And this is why I would like to keep donating with you, because it's just so much easier to do it all together, okay? So let me see final comments. So Steve Deacon revealed my address. Number 1, house number 1, the Russian Dude Street, Dudes with Russia, postcode Dude 1. Basically, yes. Okay, so let me see, okay, didn't Angelina Jolie, Lviv, thanks so much for answering all my questions, Fabri. Fabri, thank you so much for asking me all these questions. Without you, without Steven, without Ed Savata, without Chat Freeze, without all you guys who are watching and asking me all these questions, this will not be as fun and as entertaining. And thank you so much for all your donations. I'm just reading right now closing comments. So basically we're getting ready to say bye to each other and enjoy the rest of our Saturdays. But if you have any last thoughts, any last comments, feel free to ask. Next month... Oh, by the way, before you go, I will be doing these charitable live streams just like I'm doing right now, last Saturday of each month. So today is the last Saturday and apparently this is the last day of April, but next will be Saturday 28th, looks like. Okay, on 28th I won't be at home, so next charitable live stream will be May 29th. This will be Sunday. And once again, all the Patreon memberships that I'll receive, all of them will just go to Ukraine, as simple as that. So, and then basically the same stuff, June, July, August, for as long as it takes. $150, it's, believe me, it's a lot. Like, it can change many things. It can feed families for weeks for this money. So don't think that if you're not giving anything or giving small amount, it won't change anything. It will, believe me. So once again, yeah, this is what we're going to be doing. Last Saturday or Sunday of each month, I will be announcing closer to the date. We will be doing these charitable live streams where I'll be summarizing the events of the months, but mostly I will be answering your questions just like I did right now. In the end, we're going to donate all the money that we got from my Patreon and then say bye and be happy and keep watching the situation daily with all the daily updates I'm going to be making. Okay, next. It's out. We'll be donating more. You should make a GoFundMe. Yes, once again, I will write down this idea. I'll take a look at this. I never did this, but I'll definitely take a look at this. Okay, Czech Slovak Velvet Revolution. It's interesting. And we got Lucky USR. Let us overturn communists at hat. Yes. Okay, so now. ATTQ, thank you so much for commenting, by the way. I see you from time to time in the comments, so thank you so much for commenting and thank you for stopping by my live stream. Says, are you not worried Russian government will come after you if your channel grows? Usually authoritarian regimes disappear distance. Well, that is a worry that I have on my mind, but, well, I am trying to be careful, let's say so. Oh, and I think my camera just stopped working, so let me switch to my webcam. So it's gonna be worse quality, but at least you can see me. So where is it? So right now you can see something very, very ugly. I know. Excuse me, give me a second. I'm just switching to my webcam, which is gonna be way worse. But if you want to see me, that's the only way to see me from now on. Okay, I guess. Okay, it will work for the meantime. In the meantime, okay. So yeah, that's another sign that we're gonna end it soon. But okay, I know. Yes, I have these thoughts in the back of my mind. It can be kind of dangerous, but I'm trying to be careful, and I hope nothing bad will happen because, well, saying the truth is much more important. Because if no one says the truth, well, everyone is gonna be afraid. Okay, so luckily ATQ is not living in Russia right now. Yes, I'm not right now. Okay, next one. Once your YouTube channel is monetized, you can do fundraisers, says Martimus, on YouTube with 0 fees through their fundraiser program. I know, but once again, YouTube doesn't let me monetize my content. That's why the only way for us to help Ukraine together is through Patreon at this very moment. I will keep looking for other opportunities, but at this very moment, the only way to... Let me take it away. It's red one. Oh, I cannot. Okay. Okay, I guess. Whatever. I'm so sorry about the quality of the video, but I guess that's how it is for now. Hopefully a little bit better. Okay. Okay, so unfortunately, yes, my YouTube doesn't let me monetize my content at this very moment, so the only way we can help Ukraine together is through Patreon at this very moment. So that's why if you want to be a part of this donation, feel free to join anytime, and you have benefits. So it's not like you're just giving money away for nothing. You will have some benefits like extra content and all these kind of things. Two-factor authentication is only good until something happens to your number phone, and then you can never again access to your things anymore. It happened once, but yes, it was a problem, but stealing your information is also no good either. I hope your channel gave instructions, says It's Savat. Well, that's what I'm saying. All this content is free, so feel free to share it with your friends, or relatives, or anyone else you want. That's the biggest support you can give to me, is by just sharing my channel with people you know. Steve Deacon says, thank you, the Russian dude, for what you are doing is really wonderful. No, thank you, because the reason I'm doing this, because people actually listen to my ramblings of a madman. If you got the reference, say +1, 2, 3 or whatever in the comments. So because you're watching me, because I have some voice here, and the reason why I have voice here is because people like you, Steve, are watching. So thank you so much. Okay, so I would recommend donating to military instead of humanitarian relief. Well, military right now, yes, I might to military as well, but military is also getting support from America, from Western countries. They're sending them weapons, so military is the one which already gets lots of assistance from Western countries, but other regular people, elder people, kids are the ones who are not getting as much support. So for this time, I decided to go with the Red Cross, someone that everyone knows basically about them. Ed Savat said that I'm monthly Patreon donator and will donate more when I can. Yes, don't worry, as much as you can, like no pressure, nothing like this. $4, $8, $100, whatever. This money doesn't go to my pocket, this money goes to Ukraine. So whatever you feel comfortable, that's all I'm asking for, simple as that. If there is no money you can donate at this very month, just once again share my channel with people, because spreading the news is also helping in this war tremendously. And then It's Out said that can't wait for the 9th May live stream parade, victory parade. Yes, same for me. Victory parade, May 9th, Russia victory parade. We will be doing charitable live stream once again. This will be awesome, I think, because we will be watching Russian military, we'll be watching Putin, we'll be collecting money and using this money to help Ukraine. So we'll be using Russian media against them, basically. Marty Moose, great stream, thanks buddy. Thank you, Marty, for watching, thank you so much. Is Elon Musk buying the Russian dude YouTube channel, says Sebastian. Well, if he offers me $44 billion, I will consider this option, but as long as this channel stays about updating people on daily news, assisting Ukrainians and donating $150 to Ukraine, that's all it matters. But most likely I will keep it. I just love YouTube. I don't need $44 billion. I want to be YouTuber. Simple as that. YouTube over $44 billion. No, it's too little money. I don't need that money. I want my YouTube channel. Simple as that. Because I have people like you watching me. How better this can get than speaking with you guys. It's so nice. What do you think was Kremlin directly behind of recent events in Prydnestrovia? But it possibly, like once again, many of these regions, they are under Russian infiltrators, so maybe they're destabilizing the situation inside these regions, and maybe that's the reason why there are so many provocations at this very moment. John Price, you're talking about Russians making $1,000 a month and then spend 9 fund. I feel I have something in common with Russian people right now. Well, that's... learn, I don't know, well, that's, I guess, not the best way. Hope it's not about saving money. Like, whenever you are living from paycheck to paycheck, this is also one of the greatest thoughts that was implanted in my mind. Whenever you are struggling financially, don't think about how you can save extra money. Think about how you can get extra money, how you can do side hustles, how you can work maybe extra, how you can have a second job or something like this, like, or some monetize your hobby, whatever, things like this. Think about how to make more money, and because life is you only have one life, so you need to enjoy it instead of just living from paycheck. But I love you guys. I'm just already being drunk on hyperventilating all the time. Okay. That is a big microphone. It is. This is Blue Yeti. It's right in front of my face, creating shadows, but it is what it is. Defect to the West while you still do said that. It's fine. Fabri, my only worry is the following. Even though I totally support Ukraine, I also care about the right of self-determination of people from Transnistria, Donetsk, Lugansk people republics. I'm gonna explain. Are there many people there who want to be independent, like Kosovo in Serbia? If there are, they should have at least an autonomy, also to find a compromise and tensions. And then the only method to solve the problem would be force these people to move to Russia. But that would mean an ethnic cleansing, and this is terrible, of course. No, well, of course, any ethical cleansing related problems is not so good, to say the least. Oh, my mind is so occupied already, 2 hours already of speaking, but it's incredible. It's one of my favorite things I've done recently, just being in front of so many people, speaking with you guys. It's just insane. Holy smokes, UN vehicles are entering Mariupol to evacuate people right now. Yes, I've seen some notifications. That's good progress, Martimus. Hat, thank you for your work. Keep the videos coming. This is what people need to see. It's something they won't understand unless the country was a part of USSR. Exactly. USSR has this mindset that only people from USSR understand. Sebastian, I hope we see each other soon again. I can't wait. Steve Deacon, $44 billion, 22 to Ukraine, 22 for you to start a new YouTube channel. That's the deal. Will be hard to refuse, but I would definitely prefer to have a relatively successful YouTube channel over $44 billion. What would you do with $44 billion? Like $10 million, I would say it's already more than enough to every single person, average person can spend in their lives. So why do you need $44 billion? But imagine having YouTube channel. You don't need, I don't know, like you just have, it's so cool. I love YouTube. You have no idea, guys, how much I love YouTube. It's insane. Hat, Serbia is nice this time of the year. Every country is nice. There are every country that has nice place around the place. Chat freeze, Russian dude, maybe you could play Anton Chekhov in the new Star Trek movies. Well, if they invite me, let's see. It's Savat, stay safe, friends. It's Saturday here. I'm about to go and get drunk. Take care. Take care, you, Savat. Don't drink too much. We need you tomorrow, Monday, watching videos, being updated. And then months from now, 9 days from now in the victory parade. So stay safe, it's Savat. Martimus, UN vehicles already entering Mariupol and they confirmed they're a legit UN. I pray they're there. Yes. Chat freeze. Sorry, his Star Trek name is Pavel Chekhov. Yeah, Anton Chekhov was the writer. You're right. Robbie, Oaks, Sebastian, I agree 100% on money advice. Always invest and try to make more money against only saving. Yeah, invest is the best thing you can do. Tesla is overvalued. S&P 500 is crashing. I'm investing every single month, dollar cost averaging, all this kind of stuff. My thoughts will be with the people of Ukraine going through all the struggle, hiding, living in shelter. Yes. Think about Ukraine, pray about Ukraine. If you can donate to Ukraine, either yourself or part of the Russian Dude community, feel free to subscribe to my Patreon, link in the description. We already donated $150 today. Mind that we collected all together $150 to Ukraine. Big difference. This can be very easily monthly salary. Just imagine, for one YouTube live stream, we collected money that some people in Ukraine can make in 1 month working. This is the money that we collected just one live stream. This is how powerful the social media YouTube can get. I will not stop doing this for as long as it is needed. So it's incredible. Go get some rest, dude. So, yes, thank you so much, Steve. Perfect time. I read, I guess, all the most recent comments. Thank you so much for joining. 167 people watching. My camera is already no battery. It's incredible. I had so much fun. I hope you had so much fun as well. So thanks so much for donating. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for your questions. See you on Monday. See you May 9th, Victory Parade. See you next end of the month while we're going to be donating. Everything will be cool. Everything will be great. Russia, Ukraine, eventually the war will be over. Ukraine will be liberated. I mean, not liberated, in a good way. No more Russian forces in the territory of Ukraine, and everything will be good. Okay, so thanks so much. Have a good Saturday. Enjoy. The Russian Dude signing out.